If you're one of those people like me who cast a jaundiced eye on the only reason left for America's existence, its vast war machine, then you may have been dismayed and disheartened to read or hear recently that this country of ours has committed to a nearly $2 trillion overhaul of its nuclear arsenal. I'm sure the homeless and the starving and the sick and the desperate and the suffering here and around the world, whose problems could be completely rectified for a fraction of that cost, are all jumping for joy. One of the most cynical ploys surrounding this mind-boggling escalation of death machines is the massive marketing and propaganda campaign. Because it will take generations to do this, only for it to be outdated, they're starting young, with children being brought in on field trips to nuclear bases to have fun with warheads and missiles and submarines in the hope that those kids will not only be eloquent defenders of the escalation in a nuclear arms race, but perhaps more importantly, put all their other dreams aside to help build them. Because that will be our economy in the future, or at least until the world ends, building nuclear arms. So if your kids dream of being a doctor or a fireman, or God forbid a teacher, forget it. They are about to be nuclear bombed with enough propaganda to convince them to work in the defense industry, which will be the only decent paying jobs in our dystopian future, and trick them and make them think it's their own decision. Remember, under any conditions, from any perspective, we dwarf the world many times over in our nuclear arms. No one is close, not the fake enemies of Russia and China and North Korea and Iran that we're taught to hate and see as a threat, whose point of view we never hear about except through Western media, and who knows this as well as we do. Yet many Americans today feel it is important that we keep up in a race we've already won, and no one will ever catch us because, again, the finish line is literally that, the finish of the race, of life, of everything. Bomber jets, warheads, missiles, all shiny and brand new at first, but like the last generations of nuclear arms, destined to be out of date by the time they are actually finished. But who cares? That's the system. If we're still here, we'll just start all over again, and you'll be able to buy empty missile silos and turn them into beautiful homes. No views, of course, unless you enjoy views of a scorched earth. And of course, the propaganda arm of the nuclear arms industry, the American news media, will dutifully report it uncritically like a trade paper. The next version of America won't be the land of the free or the home of the brave. The next version of America is the land of the missile and the home of the bomb, and very little else. As all the other dreams of America die on their respective vines, one dream will thrive: the possibility of blowing up the earth and destroying the planet. We know already that the Pentagon has lost trillions of dollars, lost it like you lose your keys, except you eventually find your keys, and this Pentagon money is permanently unaccounted for in the pockets and coffers of the corrupt military-industrial complex. And we now know that these new nuclear programs, our nuclear future almost before they begin, are billions of dollars in debt. And there's no debate about this because most people don't even know what's happening. You see, it's a big secret, except the part they want to brag about and seduce you and hypnotize you into supporting. Just ignore the lost money that might have actually made your life better and focus on crushing our imaginary enemies. Why address climate change? Why spend money on it? Why waste money on that hippie peace and love bullshit when the true agenda is we are going to annihilate and torch and fuck over Earth and space and everything on it, above it, and underneath it once and for all? Are you old enough to remember no nukes? Well, we've entered the era of more nukes, more and bigger and better. New, improved nukes. America's new motto is, we are going to kill you better than you've ever been killed. Suddenly, Dr. Strangelove seems quaint. Perhaps the inevitable remake should be called Dr. Strangefuck.